This is Fox 6 News.
Good evening. First on Fox tonight, a federal jury finds a former Whitefish Bay barber guilty of molesting a 14-year-old boy and videotaping the assaults.
It's the end of a bizarre case that all started when the defendant mailed a DVD full of child porn to Fox 6 News. It's a disc that actually landed our Brian Polson, Fox 6 investigator, on the witness stand.
It's rare for federal prosecutors to call on a journalist to testify in a criminal case, but this is a very unusual case, a convoluted criminal drama befitting of a Hollywood script with more than 100 exhibits. But exhibit number one, that DVD sent to Fox 6 News. It was an unlabeled disc loaded with child pornography, and it came with an anonymous letter implicating a Whitefish Bay building owner as the creator of the disc. Fox 6 News turned the materials over to the Wisconsin Department of Justice in 2010.
From there, we had to try to unravel this mystery.
Assistant U.S. Attorney Penny Copeland says the disc was traced to David Foley, a career con artist who was operating a sports-themed barbershop in Whitefish Bay. Foley had a bitter relationship with the shop's landlord, to whom he owed more than $50,000 in rent. So Copeland says Foley mailed the disc to Fox 6 in hopes of framing his landlord as a pedophile. It was a setup that backfired.
I have never seen anything like it before, and I've been prosecuting for 28 years.
It led state agents down a path that revealed Foley himself had molested two local boys. He videotaped the assaults on one of the boys at his Shorewood apartment, then later assaulted the same boy on a weekend trip to the Mall of America. Sources say the boy collapsed into his father's arms after testifying in federal court this week.
I really feel for them that this happened to him.
David Brozovich is one of a long line of people Foley has been accused or convicted of stealing money from.
Took me into his confidence, hence the word con man.
Brozovich took off work to see the verdict, and after the jury convicted Foley on all 6 counts of child pornography and molestation, he was relieved to know that David Foley will spend the next 15 to 140 years in prison.
Justice is served. I don't think he's going to see the light of day again.
During closing arguments, the assistant U.S. attorney said this was a case not just of perversion, but of revenge. She says that David Foley's bitterness toward his landlord turned out to be his own undoing. At the federal courthouse in Milwaukee, Brian Polson, Fox 6 investigators.
Now, earlier this year, Foley signed a guilty plea in the federal case. And then he withdrew it, forcing the 2 teenage victims to testify at trial. And sources close to the case tell us that could dramatically increase his sentence.
A one-time deputy chief of